I'd like to invite our next speaker. She is Shranya Ravikumar. She is the Senior Manager in Planning and Inclusion and Results at Skills for Growth, Skills for Inclusive Growth program in Sri Lanka. Shranya has 15 years of experience in development programs covering government, also United Nations and INGO and development in different aspects, especially on gender speciality, disability, and inclusive economic development.
So greetings to all of you. I'm really pleased and humbled to be here with all of you today to talk about some of my experience on the future of inclusive tourism, and with skills, how we can make them a reality. So the UNWTO has designed World Tourism Day 2021 as a day to focus on tourism for inclusive growth. And this is an excellent opportunity to look beyond tourism statistics and acknowledge that behind every number there is a person, and this supports the inclusive tourism growth. So the content of my presentation today is about how we understand tourism visitor economy, which is very vital for the inclusive growth for the tourism and the hospitality industry, and how the tourism value chain supports the skills framework of a country, and how the 4 pillars of recovery for tourism skills can support Sri Lanka to build back better in the post-COVID pandemic situation. And also, I'm delighted to share some of the innovative skills models that our program has been testing and modeling in some of the regions. And we are happy to share those case studies for scaling up by the tourism stakeholders and academies in this forum. So lastly, I will also talk a little bit about what are the systemic change actions that as practitioners we can take to get ourselves forward for the future of tourism. So what is the tourism visitor economy looks like? So the visitor economy is always linked with tourism. It's a much broader concept, and it's always about what the visitor is willing to pay for, or what the visitor is willing to spend in a tourism destination. So this also allows visitors to engage in different activities, the culture, to enjoy the benefits, the tourism assets of a country, but it will also complement the industry sector as well. So that's where we need to understand how the tourism value chain works, so that we can still fit in what types of skills are needed in order to respond to the visitor economy. So in this post-pandemic situation, putting people first is one of the key priorities, specifically identifying the disadvantages and the vulnerable people, the business owners, the government, the associations, and mainly the visitors, to understand and adapt their changing needs. And of course, we were talking about innovations and adaptability, and Generation 5 and all these technological innovations, how it can support to strive thinking differently in order to change for a global and local situation. And ultimately, we strive to be sustainable, ensure that all our actions support sustainable tourism, to celebrate community conservations and respect all the cultures and diversity of this amazing country. So I just wanted to share with you the tourism value chains of the UNWTO, and you can see the potential of different sectors coming together to provide local economic development growth. And the next slide shows how the skills framework and the components of the successful skills framework and employment strategy can complement the tourism value chain. So this is the tricky part and the challenging part as practitioners and development program policy designers face, where we bring in the supply side of the industry as well as the demand side of the industry together to identify the skills gaps, shortages, and how we can match the industry needs to the skills so that we have a potential growing economy that also contributes for tourism development in our country. So based on our experience, we propose 4 pillars that might induce or provide an enabling environment for the future of inclusive tourism. So particularly we focus on jobs and inclusive employment that offers opportunity for everyone, and focusing on business development, especially the small and medium enterprise sector, which comprises 80% of the tourism sector, which provides services to the visitor economy. And of course, the institutional arrangements, governance, and resilience, it's very much important in order to achieve inclusive economic growth. And with the pandemic situation, promoting destinations and developing destinations with the required skills has also become paramount important to us. So in this juncture, the Skills for Inclusive Growth program supports trainings, sustainable job creations in the hospitality and tourism industry, bringing businesses growth with the Sri Lankan Ministry of Skills, supported by the Australian Aid Fund. And the skills models that this program provides supports the government's vision, Decade of Skills Development 2030, and how we can support a resilient and build back better. So just to share some of the case studies, but at the same time, these are evolving models, and we have tested and piloted some of these models and continue to do so with our key tourism stakeholders for the rest of the 4 years of the project period. And one of the key models that I can mention here is about skills for business coaching to improve the performance of the tourism industry. So this is a vital model that we see that is important skills development approach to manage, develop the businesses, because the businesses are the heart and soul of a tourism industry. And this model provides innovative tools and change stories and change agendas for better performing tourism entities. And another model that we have piloted and tested is about the foundational hospitality skills that is required to address the skills gaps and shortages in the tourism and hospitality sector, and how the industry has to be relevant, quality assured, how the training programs and courses can be flexibly delivered for the industry in a demand-driven sector. And this can also provide workplace trainings for entrants, which is one of the obstacles that faced by many youth, women and persons with disabilities, where they are unable to access training centers because of their caregiving opportunities or safety and security or economic constraints. So these foundational hospitality skills delivery mechanisms can provide accessibility for youths to engage in more tourism-related jobs and employments, and also upskill themselves to retain in the industry when there is shocks and disasters and pandemic situation. Rather, industry can hold on to their skill set rather than losing them. Along with the model on foundational skills, we also talk about the professional cookery skills, where the regional youth who does not have greater advantages of being in the cities to get acquainted with high-end hotels and high-end tourism value chains. So we have tested and piloted a model to recruit youths who are disadvantaged by geography, location, language, ethnicity, or religion. So this is a model that can be inclusive and adaptive to all Sri Lankan and can be adapted. And we have many case stories and more information to share with whoever interested about these potential models. Another model that we want to discuss here with this eminent forum is about the professional cookery skills that links with the private and public partnerships. When we talk about travel and visits and tourism, we cannot escape from food and the culinary experience that we have while traveling. So you and I experience the privilege of having diverse luxury of accessing different types of cultural cuisines while we are traveling. So this is another potential area where there are skill gaps, but there are demands for quality professional cooks in the industry, which can provide job opportunities. And we would also like to promote the career paths for tourism and hospitality, making the vocational training adequately flexible to especially support women who are poorly educated, who has family responsibilities. So the career guidance program has to be designed with reference to the opportunities and the career paths available in the tourism and hospitality industry. And we invite the donors and industry partners to network with our program to build the capacity of employment to promote these sectors. So last not least, we would like to discuss a little bit about the skills for destination development, which can unlock the potential for tourism, especially for the regional employment, because tourism is also considered and recognized as a key intervention in reducing unemployment and poverty and inequality in our country. So skills for promoting destination development can offer opportunities while coordinated with key stakeholders at the district level to create services and experiences that support the industry efforts, so that the visitors can spend money, which stimulates the local economic inclusive growth, where the last mile of the end user of the tourism value chain gets more benefits from this reviving and thriving industry. So this is why it is very important that we work with the government planners and tourism ministry agencies to stimulate skills development across the tourism value chain. Since this is also a research conference, I would like to share some of the eminent researches that our program has conducted in particularly 4 of the districts in the interest of identifying cultural-oriented arts and regional authentic products. So these kind of researches can be replicated in other regions, which can provide inputs for visitor experience for the upcoming period. And these are some of the case studies and testimonials of all the programs that we have conducted in the regions, innovative initiatives, innovative skills interventions, which are inclusive in a post-pandemic situation where we involved the young youths who are unemployed, but at the same time who has a passion to enter into the tourism industry. So, what are the systemic change actions that as practitioners that we can take? Because there is a lot happening at the ground at the moment, but there are a lot need to be done. So let us look at what are the systemic change actions that we can take is to definitely improve the cooperation and coordination with the industry and the government and the skills providers. And this has been a long-standing discussions, and all stakeholders, I think, would agree with me how we can make this eminent. And innovative engagement of women and persons with disabilities to secure benefits of the tourism sector, to provide them employment and new business opportunities. And of course, the industry has to attract more youth by providing validated training modules and flexible learning system through online to increase the business performances and employment outcomes to attract more enrollment. Transforming community practices and resources into unique and authentic tourism experience, which is very vital at the moment for local tourists and international tourists who are looking for local experiences with the safety protocols. And Sri Lanka has to offer many variety of community practices and transforming this into resources. And intelligent matching with the travel and tour operators globally, and the policies to support tour companies and DMCs to get involved to provide this skills match. And of course, resilience and recovery support systems by providing e-tourism's registration of business planning, human resources management for tourism to function better, and of course safety and evacuation protocols. So the Tourism for Inclusive Growth now provides an opportunity to be innovative and use our existing knowledge, what is existing in the tourism industry, to use for policy decisions making, and how the different segments of the tourism industry can come together to synergize and provide the skills necessary to the thriving tourism industry. So with skills, we can achieve better jobs, better businesses, and better future for our country. And through the inclusive tourism, we can achieve at the end of the day. We are all aware that the potential in tourism is to impact the social and economic development, but we also need to focus more resources and effort to equip and empower the structures and people, training them with the right skills, creating equal opportunities, being mindful of inclusivity, so that tourism can truly be for everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I think now would be a good time to showcase one of our case studies in the form of the video. Can I have that, AV, please?
Yeah. Mr. Navid, can you help us on that?
Mr. Basan, hold on a sec.
The video, I think Mr. Kemid is working on it, is it?
Yeah.
Sharade, until they get ready the video, I need to ask you a question, because this came from the audience. I wanted to put it through to you. Now, they are asking about when the technology transformation happen in the industry, what will happen for the opportunities, job opportunities in the future industry through the skills and everything. Will you be able to comment on that?
Yes, certainly, Kazum. Now, when the technology involves, there will be more opportunities, I believe, especially for the particular segments who have not been able to enter into the tourism industry. For example, in our programs during the pandemic situation, we witnessed more women and more persons with disabilities have been able to access some of the tourism related job opportunities, like for example providing and creating contents for tourism. And they don't need to travel, they can work from home, they can develop their own content around their destinations from their home, about their culture, about their food that their grandma prepares. So these are some of the destination development skills that will require technological advancement, but at the same time which can be contribute to the whole tourism industry. So this is all about inclusive tourism, and I definitely believe there is space and scope. Even if the technology takes over, the human element will always remain, because tourism is an experience. So the human element will definitely prevail. Thank you.
Thank you, Shranya.
ගමන් අඳුරු අලාබිඳ ඉර නැගෙන අයුරු දැක දයට යමක් කළ මිනිසුන් වෙන්නට උලගිனை மேம்படுத்தும் மானிடனாய்.
One day I want to be a chef.
එකතු වෙලා රට දැය ගොඩ නගමු.